Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about Tesla and why I think it is such a safe stock to invest in. Now, when people think about Tesla, they don't often associate safe with Tesla. Instead, they call Tesla a speculative stock. And maybe by their definition, it is a speculative stock. However, whatever the definition of Tesla is, it is extremely safe to invest in my opinion, because of the following. First of all, Tesla's growth. Tesla's growth from 2014, where it had $3 billion in sales and revenue, compared to its 2018 $21 billion in sales revenue, is 700% sales growth in 4 years. So let's compare that with a traditional successful auto company like Toyota. I actually own a Toyota. I don't own a Tesla. And you can see that in 2014, and if you gotta kind of look at this as 2014 rather than 2015, because they do their fiscal year from April to March. So this is mostly 2014 with the first 3 months of 2015, and of course most of 2019 hasn't happened yet. So this is 2014 to 2018, and this is in Japanese yen, so we're gonna take it down by 2 decimal points divided by 100, and you get approximately what the US dollar equivalent is. So Toyota in 2014 made $270 billion in revenue, and in 2018 $300 billion in revenue. So that's a 10% growth, 12% growth. Compare that with Tesla's 700% growth, and this is continuing, right? So everybody is talking about how Tesla fell short in their deliveries in the first quarter of 2019. And sure, if you compare the fourth quarter of 2018 with the first quarter of 2019, yes, there is a shortfall, but the trend of increasing revenue hasn't stopped. It's been increasing actually. Now look at the first quarter of 2018. 30,000 cars delivered. Compared to first quarter of 2019, 63,000 cars delivered. That's more than 100% increase in growth. And according to Elon Musk, in his annual shareholder meeting, they're gonna beat their record or come close to it. So in the second quarter of 2019, they're gonna be selling or they would have delivered 90,000 or close to 90,000 cars. And in these 2 quarters, Tesla made a profit, as opposed to and in 2018, Tesla lost $1 billion. But in the last 2 quarters, Tesla was actually profitable. And in 2017, Tesla lost $2 billion. And so you can see the trend, right? So lose $2 billion, lose $1 billion, and in 2019, maybe break even or, a small profit. Well, they'll be, I imagine they would break even or make a small profit in 2019. I'm a little bit optimistic. Maybe they lose a bit of money, but it's looking like the trend is going up. They're improving their balance. Now, let's look at some numbers, right? Model 3 outsells all competitors combined. This is when Elon Musk said that in the Tesla annual shareholder meeting. What he meant was the other electrical vehicles like the Nissan Leaf or the Audi e-tron. And it's the highest revenue car in the US, best in class in performance. And what he didn't mention, of course, is that it's the safest car in the world. Period. And you can watch this video. This is NHTSA will readily admit that Tesla is the safest car in the world. It's using NHTSA's numbers. And even though there's a ton of other cars with the same 5-star rating, there's actually a significant difference between how safe a Tesla is compared to how safe those other cars are. And I will link this video, but you can watch. It's 30 minutes. It's a bit long, but anyways, getting back to the shareholder meeting. So Elon Musk, when he said in the shareholder meeting that the Tesla outsell all competitors combined, it meant of course the he meant that he meant all the other EVs. But what's more is it's actually outselling
12.
It's actually outselling
and it's actually the best-selling car.
It's best-selling car by revenue compared to all other cars. We're talking about traditional top sellers like Toyota Camry, Honda Accord. They come second to Tesla Model 3. That's how good, how well that Tesla 3 is selling right now. And so demand really isn't an issue. This is Tesla continues to sell well, and the demands, the orders are coming in faster than they can fill it. And this is what Elon Musk said in the shareholder meeting in June 11, right? So what other negatives do people have talk about when they talk about Tesla? A bad balance sheet. Tesla has bad finances, right? Well, I highly recommend that you check out this video. Could that make Elon Musk's Tesla bankrupt? And in this video, this guy points out that Tesla has about $11 billion worth of debt as of March 31st, 2019. And they have about $2 billion, right? That's March. But in April, Chrysler Fiat, in order to avoid paying a fine to the EU, the EU wants to fine Chrysler Fiat for emissions, right? For their cars' emissions. To avoid that fine, they want to buy like the carbon credit from Tesla, and they are paying them $2 billion for it. So Tesla has another $2 billion actually right now. It's more than what this actually is reflecting. And then what this guy said was he compared Tesla with other companies like Coca-Cola, $30 billion in debt with cash and equivalents and short-term investment, like $15 billion in cash and equivalents and short-term investments. And he compares it with Apple, which has $100 billion in debt and then like $70 billion in cash and short-term investment or whatever. And and he goes on to say that, basically explain that, hey, Tesla doesn't have a bad balance sheet. Tesla is actually fine, doing just fine in terms of balance sheet. And so now we have huge growth with a great last quarter, even better current quarter, safest car in the world, and with a good balance sheet, and with sales, record-breaking sales revenue, and with new car coming along, the Model Y, and you can go check out. I recommend you check out the Tesla annual shareholder meeting, and Elon Musk, he goes over how the Shanghai Gigafactory is going to start producing at the end of 2019. They began building it in beginning of 2019, and then at the end of 2019 they're already producing cars out of it. That's pretty crazy. And then also he goes on about how Tesla is looking to build a factory in Europe, and they're also coming out with the Model Y, which will have 2.5 times the demand of the Model 3. And so demand is not an issue. I think the bottleneck for Tesla's revenue will be production. And as far as I can tell, it is being ramped up. It is increasing as we speak. And with the Shanghai factory coming online, it's going to produce even more cars, or Tesla is going to produce even more cars. And according to my understanding, the Gigafactory in Las Vegas, not in Nevada, right, is still not complete, right? According to what I've heard, it's not going to be complete until 2020. So production there is still ramping up, and so that might be a help with the production problems. That might be one of the things that's keeping Tesla from building more cars. So now you know that Tesla makes the safest car, I highly recommend that you just go to Tesla.com and check out their car and see if you actually like what they have. So first of all, let's check existing inventory, and you will find that there are no new cars for the Model 3, at least. No new car for the Model X, no new cars for Model 3, and one new car available for the Model S. And this is because they don't have any inventory. They've sold all their inventory, and they're actually backlogged. Now they do have some used cars. Oh, and it looks like they sold. Yesterday I was checking, and they had a Model 3, and looks like they sold that already. And so they do have some old Model S and old Model X's available. And Tesla there's no dealer for Tesla, so there's the middleman fees are gone. So it's an even better deal for Tesla and people who buy from Tesla. So let's check out what Tesla has to offer. Let's say you're building a new Model 3. How much would it cost? Like an average Joe like me, how much would it cost to buy a Model 3? Let's say I just go with the standard black. If you choose the other colors, it costs more, like $2,000 for red, $1,500 for white, right? Let's just go with the standard, right? Everything's black, and we won't get the auto driving. The auto driving, full self-driving computer won't be available probably until the end of the year. Elon Musk was saying they're gonna finish this by 2019. So I assume that it'll be the end of the year when they come out with it, because it's not out yet. Coming later this year, you can see it's not available, and so check marking this will give you some extra when the autopilot is on. It'll give you something extra. It'll allow you to change lanes, I think, automatically. But other than that, no big deal, right? So the purchase price, the autopilot will still work. There will still be an autopilot even if you don't buy that option. It's just that it'll stay in lane. It'll stay in lane. It'll brake and all that good stuff. So the price of this car is $40,000, right? $40,000 with federal tax credit savings of $3,750. This is only for until the end of June. After June, from July to December, this will be $1,875. So there will be a decrease, but there's a California EV rebate also. So currently, if you were to buy the car, it would cost something like $34,000 because of these two, the tax credit and the EV rebate. And then in a month, right? Next month in July and till the end of the year, it'll cost what? Well, if you live in California, it'll cost $36,000 or thereabouts. And in fact, I heard that California is looking to double this rebate to $5,000. So I don't know, but anyways, what we have right now is like $34,000 to $36,000 for a Tesla 3, and this is a car. And you can go on YouTube and type and do a search for Tesla Model 3 and check out how the Tesla Model 3 owners, what they say about the car. And the general consensus is just it's a great car. It's, as I have said, it's the safest car in the world, of course, and it's quiet because it has a motor, not a internal combustion engine, and so less vibration, less noise. The acceleration is incredible compared to, it's way better than most ICE vehicles, and the savings in fuel. Tesla, puts that here. It's estimate 6-year gas savings. So if you own the car for 6 years, you save $4,300. That's an estimate, but these savings are real. If you use the car. But I'm just, even if you discount this, even if you don't take account of the energy savings, this car is like a $34,000 luxury car that's handles and accelerates better than most other luxury cars, and it's a top of the line car, and it's environmentally friendly. It's zero emissions. I mean, if you don't take into account the emissions from the power generation, maybe depending on if you're getting your energy completely from solar power, wind power, then it's zero emissions, period. I mean, so this is a great product, and I want one of these. And I know that a lot of my friends, they can afford this, and I'm sure that they would want one of these if they really checked out what Tesla is all about, what the Model 3 is all about. And this is a better performing car, more environmentally friendly. It's going to save money in the long run. Sure, it doesn't save that much money, for 6 years, but let's say you own the car for 10 years, and Tesla's electric batteries are rated to last 300,000 to 500,000 miles. So these cars are built to last, and Tesla's had years of building the Model S, Model X, and the Sportsters to and they have a proven track record that their cars are reliable and their cars will last. So I don't think I'd be, I'm too optimistic to say that the Model 3 is going to easily last for 10,000 miles. 100,000 miles, and that it will. In fact, I think even 200,000 miles is probably going to be like a Toyota, getting a Toyota in terms of reliability. And in fact, it might even beat the Toyota in reliability because it has fewer moving parts. It requires less maintenance. There's regenerative braking, so you don't have to really replace brake pads all that often. You don't have to use get gasoline. It's more convenient because what you're doing is you're driving to work and then you drive home and then you plug it in your garage and then you forget about it. You don't worry about it. You don't have to go to a gas station, spend time to go to a gas station. You don't have to pay for gas. And the electric cost is probably a quarter of what you would pay if you had to use gas. And if you need to go on long trips or whatever, there's supercharger stations all over the world, all over the United States, all over California, all over the world. And I just want to say that it's a rare opportunity for mere mortals like us to invest in Tesla when the price is so compressed. So Tesla is the number one shorted stock right now. Number one shorted. 34.7% of Tesla's stock is being shorted right now. $10 billion worth of Tesla stock. And the oil industry, the auto industry, they're working pretty hard to try to keep Tesla stocks down. They're trying to spread bad news about them. You can see news from all those negative news from CNBC. I think a lot of the stock analyzers, I think they are doing this. They're putting out bad news because they're being told to, because these big companies are somehow getting them to put out bad news by promising this. Maybe they'll promise, hey, we'll invest this much money in your company if you say this, or we'll buy this much ad from you if this TV station will say this negative stuff about Tesla. And of course they're throwing $10 billion into short selling Tesla because, hey, the oil industry alone makes like $1 trillion a year, right? Something like, and $10 billion is like a drop in the bucket for them. And if Tesla succeeds, and Tesla is already changing the world, they're already forcing the other automakers to start taking EVs seriously, start making serious EVs, because now they're being threatened by Tesla. Their existence, their very survival is being threatened by Tesla. And as time goes on, Tesla is going to succeed even more and more. As more and more Teslas are being sold, fewer and fewer people are going to get gasoline. So oil companies, they're going to lose money, and they need to increase their space for survival, right? And to do that, one of the things they're doing is they're trying to suppress Tesla. They're trying to slow down Elon Musk and make it so that it's harder for him to sell cars, harder for him to produce more cars, and they're depressing the price for Tesla. That way, it's harder for Elon Musk to raise money. I mean, if bad comes to worse, the bears end up being right. Oh, Tesla's ends up losing money next quarter, and the quarter after, and a quarter after. Tesla's still gonna sell cars. Tesla makes the best EVs in the world, and Tesla's years and years ahead of the competition in terms of technology, and it's not gonna go away. If the worst comes to worst, what's gonna happen? Elon Musk is just gonna raise more money. What he's gonna do is he's just gonna go. Hey, I need some money to to finance Tesla, and there will be a bunch of investors willing to put money in it because the fundamentals is sound. Tesla is growing like crazy. I mean, we're not even talking about the self-driving stuff, the automatic taxis. We're not talking about the solar panels. We're not talking about the battery business, which was what initially got me into Tesla, what attracted me to Tesla in the first place because of the batteries. And then I started looking into Tesla and I said, wow, this company is a great investment. And the more I looked into it, the better it looked, the better and safer it looked. And the absolute worst that can happen is Elon Musk is forced to raise more money. Tesla is not going away. Tesla, in my opinion, investing in Tesla is not a matter of whether you're going to make money or not. It is how much and how fast you're going to make money. And this is a rare opportunity for us mere mortals to invest in a market disruptor before the stock price for that company becomes way too high. This is after all the risk is gone, it's disappeared. I mean, after the Model 3 came out, essentially all the risk has been borne out by the people who invested in Tesla when Tesla was founded in 2003 until maybe, I'm going to just say in 2017 when the Model 3 came out. Because Tesla, in the early days, nobody knew what it can do. Nobody knew they could create a profitable EV. Nobody knew they could sell an EV for profit. Nobody knew they could make a reliable car. Nobody knew they could make a safe car. I mean, there was every chance in the world that it would just, Tesla would just fail and go bankrupt. But Tesla didn't. And now is 2019, 2 years after the Model 3 came out, and sales are going through the roof. And the Model Y is coming out, sales is going to even go up further, and production is ramping up, and we're not even talking about all the other stuff that Tesla has going on. Tesla's self-driving is light years ahead of everybody. Who else has a car on the road that has self-driving capabilities? Tesla is the only one. Nobody comes even close. And Tesla is at the point where I would say it's kind of like this is Apple 2 years after it came out with the iPod. And all the risk has been taken out of it. But because the oil industry is suppressing Tesla stock prices, it is like Apple before the iPod came out prices. And actually, not even that. It's half the price of Apple before the iPod came out. And the Apple iPhone, that's the Model Y, is coming out soon. The truck is coming out. That's the Apple, the iPad. The iPad is coming out. And when those things come out, it's going to just be crazy. Sales is going to go crazy. And it's just going to be a matter of production. And I think Elon Musk, the guy who who made SpaceX succeed, the miracle worker that made rocket science, affordable for, well, I won't say the masses, but much more affordable than it used to be. I think he's not going to have trouble ramping up production. I don't think he's going to have trouble ramping up production. I mean, he's already done crazy stuff, right? The hard part is over for Tesla. It's just the easy part. It's just expansion. And what's more, they're not resting on their laurels. Recently, they purchased this company, right? What is it called? Maxwell Technologies. Maxwell Technology has this dry battery thing where it increases the battery's capacity, it decreases the cost of production, and it removes some of the poisonous materials necessary for battery manufacturing. So now Tesla is going to be producing new batteries that are even better than what they have, and what they have is already light years ahead of the competition. And so I think I remember hearing about what Elon Musk was saying. Okay, their current batteries are 300 to 500,000 miles are rated for 300 to 500,000 miles, and their new batteries, which will be coming out soon, will be rated for 1,000,000 miles. I mean, they're not resting on their laurels. They're making improvements. A lot of these improvements we don't even know about. We don't know what improvements they're coming out with, and we already know they have the best product. The Model 3 is already the safest car, the most efficient car, the longest range. Well, not the longest range in their fleet, but for the price, they have really long range, and you can buy the extra range model, whatever. But what I'm saying is, this is a unique opportunity to invest in a market disruptor that's disrupting the market right now without paying Uber bucks for it. And it's going to earn you buckets of money at $200, $200-ish before it. And I just recommend that you pick up some Tesla stock before they get out of the $200 range, right? They're gonna get up to $300, $400 range, and I suspect they might rise beyond the $250. They're going to get close to $300 after the next earnings call. So the only reason we have this opportunity is because the oil industry is suppressing Tesla, and this window of opportunity is going to go away soon. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.